everybody. Welcome into another episode of Flippin Bats. We got a lot to talk about today. Free agents galore. When are they going to start signing? I don't know, but we're going to give you all the predictions. We're going to play Guess That Free Agent today. Julio Rodriguez's insane homecoming, and Aaron Judge is in San Francisco, and there's a video, and that means there is drama. Let's get to it.
It's a blowout. 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits out a 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball, deep center field. It is gone. Home run. And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
Alex, we have a good episode today. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I think throughout the offseason, at least the duration of the World Cup, I have just committed to wearing this awesome sweater probably just every time. I don't know.
I mean, I'm here for it. See, I wore mine to the Chargers Chiefs
You've
game
worn yours
on Sunday.
everywhere.
I wore it yesterday. I'm like, maybe I got to change up the look a little. Not today, but I'm going to wear it again next week. I'm going to wear it on game day again Friday for the big matchup. I have it next to me. So it is here in spirit. It is literally sitting in my bag next to me.
First, they're very comfortable. It's not like an uncomfortable sweater. And two,
It comes everywhere with me.
they're personalized. So
here.
it says Verlander on the back. Hers doesn't. Hers says Curry on the back. And yeah, I just wish look, this isn't a soccer podcast. I just wish we were a little better, you know, like.
They're young. They're one of the youngest teams in the World Cup. We knew it was going to be tough. They're going to have Wales was the game they were supposed to win. That was the game they were supposed to steal. That was a
whale of a tie. We should have won that.
Yeah, that was bad. But Friday, next big one, day after Thanksgiving for us.
My takeaway.
Okay.
With my soccer knowledge,
Let's hear it.
refs sucked. That was they really didn't.
That's normal.
Yeah. There was a lot of flopping around from the Wales.
Welcome to soccer.
And there was a lot of blubbering on their end as well.
Oh yeah.
And we tied.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed in that.
Yeah.
And Argentina.
You can't take it. You can't take a penalty in the box.
All right. Baseball, shall we?
Sure.
Let's talk baseball. Let's talk Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Because this guy, who I have been very vocal about being a superstar, I said it before the year that this guy is the definition of a super prospect. And then the year starts and it's like, this guy's pretty good. And then he goes on to be an all-star, the third rookie all-star in Mariners history behind A-Rod and Ken Griffey Jr. Then he goes on to have one of the best years. Then he wins a Silver Slugger. I mean, this guy is a superstar, and he was treated as such when he went home. Just a couple of days ago, now, I guess he went back to the DR, to the Dominican, for the first time since this season and winning Rookie of the Year award. And he was greeted like a hero.
Like
he
a
was
rock
given like a rock star.
Like full rock star status. The moment he got off the plane, got into the airport, in the car down the street, parades after, like, he is a local hero to everybody there. And you can tell he's having a good time with it, which you don't always get the pure emotion and the reaction from players when they get these big moments. But we saw it when he was surrounded by his family when he won Rookie of the Year, just how pure and honest and excited he was. And we got that same reaction in these videos that were on Twitter showing him going home.
He's what you just said right there is it's why I believe he is the future face of baseball, one of the faces of baseball. And you can see now, if you're watching in the wall, there's Julio Rodriguez walking into the hero's welcome at home, walking into the airport hangar. It looks like people are screaming. It was a rock star welcome. And you made a good point. Like, he was into it. He loved this. He was taking part in it. He was happy. He was playing it up. And I think when I say something like, this is everything you want in a face of the game, is there's so many baseball players. You know, you covered the game for the Angels for 10 years. Baseball players don't show emotion.
No.
They don't tell you how they're feeling. They don't try and look cool. And I mean, they do in their own way, but they're not like publicly like look at me on social media. Not that I don't want to say look at me as a bad thing. It's what baseball needs.
Yeah.
We should be looking at you. We should be looking at Julio Rodriguez because he's one of the brightest young stars the game has ever seen. And he's so personable. Look at this. This is the video of him. There was a parade down the street in his hometown. He's in a big SUV with flashing blue and red lights. I don't know if that's fair to do because those are police lights, and I don't know if he's getting a police escort here or if somebody just put blue and red lights in their car, so who knows about that. But he's out of the sunroof, waving to everybody, giving high fives to people, laughing, smiling, pointing at them, the Dominican flag waving in the background. This guy, Julio Rodriguez, is a hero in his hometown. He was given that welcome, and he is quickly becoming a face of the game of baseball, and I will start that movement. This guy should be a face of baseball right now, not the face. There's Aaron Judges of the world. There's a Shohei, who I also believe is a face of baseball, and he should be included in this because of his play on the field, his charisma, and the way he carries himself off the field. I certainly believe he should be.
What I love about Julio Rodriguez, and I've said this every time we talk about him, is just you can see how much fun he's having. Not only when he's playing the game, but here now we're seeing him really in the moment and enjoying the moment because he deserves every bit of this celebration, the accolades that he got. And this is what baseball needs. You touched on it. A lot of other sports have athletes that understand the social media side, right? This is where you're going to get a lot of the younger fans. You're talking to them. You're showing the behind the scenes. You're showing emotion, which is what we want to see. He's one of the few younger, bright star players that are actually doing that. And that's how you're going to bring in that younger generation fan base. You want to make it fun. You want to make it personable. You want to feel like, I want to hang out with this guy. I not only love watching him on the field, but he seems like he would be a good time just to hang out with.
And that's a game that I want to play. Look what Julio Rodriguez is doing. Hell, he's 21 years old. I want to be Julio Rodriguez. Right? He makes me feel like that. And that's what's special about him, his game on the field. And he was given that hero's welcome on the way home. Look at this. Just look, the videos that have come out are incredible. I mean, look at this. This is, you mentioned like a rock star. This video is him literally looking like he is a rock star. He's on stage. There's a crowd of thousands and thousands of people out in front of him waving flags. This is really cool. This was really awesome. And Hector Gomez tweeted this. Thousands of Julio Rodriguez fans celebrate his arrival in his hometown of Loma de Cabrera. Julio is seen as a hero by all of the people of his hometown. A hero. That's pretty cool. And the other day when we were doing, I believe it was the Cy Young show. Right? That ended up being an interesting show for us because we didn't know AL would go second, so then we tried to time everything up that we had to talk about. But one thing I touched on there is the importance and the impact that the new CBA agreement is having on baseball and specifically this Julio situation, right? I mean, you go back and it wasn't a very good time in baseball history, right? It's not a bright spot in baseball history, the lockout that we endured last offseason. But it's now showcasing its benefits. And one thing that it really addressed is service time manipulation. And I touched on this last week, but I really want everyone to understand how important this is because service time manipulation was a massive problem in Major League Baseball. The most infamous situation probably being Chris Bryant, right? When the Cubs waited, he didn't break camp with the team, though everybody knew he should and he was talented enough to. And then the Cubs waited the exact amount of days they needed to be able to conserve an extra year of service time for Chris Bryant, right? It's like, come on. But you can't blame the team there. No. That, like, is it the right thing to do? Like, more to the player? No. But if I'm running a team, I certainly understand it. So it was time for Major League Baseball to step in and say, there's a problem here and we need to fix it. And I don't think it's perfect yet, but it was addressed in that CBA agreement, and we've already started to see it pay dividends. And with Julio Rodriguez as a good example, they brought up Julio Rodriguez. He broke camp with the team, right? He broke camp. He was on the opening day roster, and he won the Rookie of the Year award, meaning that the Mariners were rewarded an extra draft pick right after the first round. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And not only were they given that, there were other teams given benefits as well. The Orioles for calling up Adley Rutschman and him finishing second. They get benefits as well. So this is a big deal that I believe is really a good thing for Major League Baseball that people aren't talking about enough. And I think, look, had this new CBA agreement not taken place, would Julio Rodriguez have made the opening day roster? Maybe. There's no guarantee. And if he didn't, is he still Rookie of the Year? Perhaps. But it robbed us with, look, let's say this wasn't in the new CBA agreement, right? Let's say they bring him up a month into the year to save an extra year of service time. Great. He still has a good year. He's Rookie of the Year, perhaps. But is he still breaking records that we haven't ever seen from a rookie in his debut year?
And do the Mariners get to the playoffs and break their 21-year drought? No.
Probably
no
not,
way.
Honestly. He went 25-25 this year, which is the first rookie in his debut season to ever do that. He's not going 25-25 if he misses a month of the year. The Mariners squeaked into the playoffs as the 6th seed. There's a good chance they're not in the playoffs without a month of Julio Rodriguez, who was their team. Like, he's the heart and soul of the team already. So just wanted to clarify how important, and it's something that goes under the radar. Once that deal is signed, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. All right, let's get back to baseball. But a big deal here, Julio Rodriguez makes the opening day roster. He wins Rookie of the Year. The Mariners are rewarded a pick right after the first round.
I think another important part of all of this for the young players is the confidence that it instills in them too, because a team is now able to be like, we believe in you. We're going to bring you up. We think you can do this, opposed to going up and down, maybe not coming up as soon as you can. And baseball's a mental game, and anything that can mess with your mental side of things and not give you that unlimited confidence that you need, that you know you deserve to be somewhere. Why am I not here? This isn't fair. There's so many other mental side of things that come into the game that I feel like this is just going to be an added bonus for all these young players who feel valued and feel believed in by their organization.
Absolutely. And Julio is just, I think, the most prominent example this year. But you look around the league, and there were Julio's a superstar. He may have gotten called up on opening day because the Mariners knew they needed him. But there are other examples that I truly believe probably wouldn't have been the case this year. Bobby Witt Jr. making the team, Spencer Torkelson making the Tigers team. That didn't end up working out right away for the majority of the year because, he ended up getting sent down. So he wasn't as good as they were hoping he would be, but he was on the opening day roster. Riley Green for the Tigers was going to be on the opening day roster, but got hurt. So you're seeing all of these guys with potential, and it just makes the game of baseball better for fans, right? You hear about these names, and you're like, well, why can't I watch him? What are we doing here? It's just all around better for the game of baseball, and kudos to them for getting it right.
And speaking of people who need to get paid, let's get to your free agent predictions.
I'm excited about this for multiple reasons. One, because many people around the country are talking about how hot my predictions have been.
Are they?
For the last year or so. These free agents, I mean, freaking Aaron Judge is a free agent. It's
crazy.
Unbelievable. So the stove is not yet hot, but that just means we're going to get a very, very hot stove, because I did my top 10 free agents like 2 weeks ago, and there's some big names. We're going to go over all of them plus some. So yeah, Alex, let's get to this.
Okay. So we're starting with Willson Contreras. Where do you think he ends up?
So Willson Contreras for me is a guy. I actually talked about him a little bit last week. We did two predictions last week. Willson Contreras was one of my guys. I have a little bit of an under the radar spot that I think he's going to end up. The Detroit Tigers. They need a catcher. They have a very young inexperienced but very talented pitching staff. Just having a guy behind the dish that is a true vet and a guy that, oh, by the way, he rakes and they desperately need offense. I think that'd be a good fit for the Tigers. And I go back to 2005 when the Tigers were the year before they were the worst team in baseball and like one of the worst teams in history. And what was that first free agency move that they went out and did and changed the course of the entire organization? A catcher, Ivan Rodriguez. They went and got that done. Things started turning around. You have the new guy in town, Scott Harris, running things in Detroit. I think he makes a splash this offseason. He said he wants to. He said he's going to. I just think Wilson Contreras would be a good fit for them.
How many years out are the Tigers from being a contending team again, though? So if he goes to a team where you know you're in a rebuild, he is a superstar. He could be that missing piece, but is that someplace that he would want to go?
That's a great question, and I think, look, one, the guy wants to win, right? So he's going to need to see a commitment to winning. So if he's going to be the only pickup, he ain't going to do it. No. There's got to be a lot more involved there. Yeah. But your question of how many years are we away? Last year, right? Last year, I was very high on the future of the Tigers and the future of the Mariners. When both teams weren't very good at the beginning of the year, I said, I believe in these two teams. I believe the Tigers will be 2024 World Series champs and the Mariners will be 2025 World Series champs. If anything, I'm going to switch that because I have to. It's my only chance. The Tigers really let me down this year. Really disappointing year. Javi Baez, the big signing at shortstop, was bad, for lack of a better term. Unacceptably bad for a guy you've paid to be your shortstop of the future. So I don't think the Tigers are as close as I would like them to be, but the writing is on the wall to be good with a very, very young and very talented pitching staff. Build around that. You're good to go. Next thing you know, you sign a big free agent after one good year, and you could turn it all around. So I'm going to say they're still a couple of years away, and that's being generous, I would say at this point.
But that's a good point. They have a lot of good young arms, so you need a veteran guy behind the plate to help them all out. So not mad at your pick, but I think there's a couple moving parts that need to happen for it to work.
Are there going to be picks that you're mad at?
A couple.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Ready? You ready for a second one?
Yes.
Okay. KOUDAI Senga, superstar arm from Japan. Where does he sign?
I have KOUDAI Senga going to the Yankees.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, KOUDAI, for those that aren't super familiar with him, which I assume is the strong majority of people, he is going to be posted coming over from Japan, most likely. And this guy's a stud. He throws 103, throws 100. Obviously, velocity is there. Really good stuff. So he's a prize prospect.
Yeah. Coming
over from Japan. And when you step back and look at these signings, there's been a few high-profile signings. Not a few. There's been about a dozen that come to the top of my head in the last decade of guys coming over from Japan, right? And there's only a few teams that have really shown a willingness to dabble in that and to sign them initially, right? And we've seen it from the Yankees multiple times.
Yep.
We've seen it from the
Mariners. They were like the top two from Angels getting Ohtani. Yeah.
The Mariners are one of those teams. Certainly the Yankees. The Angels are now one of those teams. The Cubs signing Suzuki. So, I think the Yankees know that they need to make a splash.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good chance.
So I think it is going to be one of the big teams, one of the big brands who have the money. I think the Dodgers are going to make a play for him.
Oh, you do?
I do, because they need pitching. They have the money, and they are a couple arms shy of getting back to that World Series position of winning. That was the weakness going into the postseason. Obviously, the whole play was not great once they got in, but I think they make a big play.
The Dodgers have a glaring weakness, I would say, and it's the pitching. And that would be a good fit. Look, speaking of the Dodgers, I'm sure we'll talk about them a good bit more throughout here at some point, but they have a lot of money that has come off the books.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a big splash. It's just a matter of where and when and who.
And how many.
Where, when, and who. I guess those are all accurate.
That could work.
More when and who, I would say, than where. But yeah okay. You get
Well, where? On the mound, shortstop, where are they going to do it?
Yeah,
right?
but who kind of answers that? But yeah, great point.
They both,
where, when, and
both
who?
work.
Where, when, and who?
They all work.
Yeah.
All right, from one arm to another. Carlos Rodon, where do you think he is ending up?
Rodon is kind of an underrated free agent here because of the likes of Jacob deGrom being a free agent, Justin being a free agent. There's some massive names, but
he's also only been really healthy for 2 seasons, so it's you have the injury side of it too that you have to factor in.
So you look back at those last 2 seasons though, and this guy is a true ace, like a bona fide ace of a staff kind of guy. And he showed it in Chicago, and he went out for 1 year to the Giants, and he showed it there. He was great. I think that Carlos Rodon is going to the Mets.
Ooh.
Chris Bassett, gone.
Yep.
Theoretically, he's a free agent.
Yep.
He could theoretically sign back, but I think Rodon and the Mets would be a good fit. They need that pitching staff. DeGrom's not even a certainty right now. They have Scherzer. Let's look back at last year. Scherzer, DeGrom. If you could add a Carlos Rodon to that mix, because Bassett wasn't great in the playoffs, and it feels like in the playoffs,
none of their arms were great in the playoffs.
Stuff is a good point. Stuff wins, and I was watching Chris Bassett in the playoffs, and look, his stuff isn't along the lines of DeGrom and Scherzer. Yeah. Rodon's is, and he's a lefty. He brings an ace of the staff kind of guy, and Uncle Steve is going to open up those pocketbooks early and often. And I think Rodon has a good chance of going to the Mets.
I like that, but I could see him also ending up with the Yankees. So I could see him ending up in New York. He has that New York grit to him, kind of that vibe, his style. I like him in New York, whether Mets or Yankees. I think one of them go after him.
Okay. Quick question before we move on. Are you mad at me for any of these yet?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet. Ready? Now we got a lot of shortstops here in free agency. Dansby Swanson, where does he end up?
I think he stays.
Okay.
I think he stays in Atlanta. Look, Dansby's in Atlanta. He's a Georgia guy.
Yeah.
We saw it last year with Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
And Freddie was an Atlanta Brave, and he needed to be an Atlanta Brave for life. And the organization made a decision to let him go. And I don't think that went over great with the fan base.
No.
And Freddie.
No. We know that.
I think the Braves need to get this right. Dansby is a hometown guy playing there for his hometown team, and he wants to be there. And look, we have to go off of what we have seen from Dansby this past year and a lot of the year prior. And he has shown to be one of the better shortstops in the game of baseball.
Yeah.
He wasn't that before last year. He was a guy that plays good defense and not the best hitter in the world. Dansby's turned it around, and you got to pay him as such. And if I'm the Atlanta Braves, you got to pay your guy. You can't let two guys that the fan base views as Braves. You know,
what kind of contract does he get if the Braves keep him?
I think you got to sign him to. I think you got to sign him for 5-6 years.
Okay.
I think and I would if I'm the Braves. He's been great. He wants to be there. Keep your guy. Go get your guy. Don't mess up again.
See, Braves fans probably are not going to like this take, but if he does not stay in Atlanta, I see him being a top prospect for the Dodgers if they can't keep Trea Turner. So, yeah,
so
I think that would infuriate the fan base, but it's also a good fit.
I am starting to just think that you are picking either the Dodgers or Yankees for.
They got the money. I'm not picking him for everybody. Don't worry, but they got deep pockets.
They do,
historically deep pockets. And that's how you get players that you want. You outbid.
Imagine if Dansby goes to the Dodgers.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
2 years in a row, they lose their guy to
Oof.
the Dodgers. I don't think it happens. Dansby's staying in Atlanta. That's my prediction.
All right. Well, let's move on. Xander Bogaerts. Where does he end up?
I think he stays as well.
Okay.
I think he stays with the Red Sox. The Red Sox owe some happiness to their fans. They really do. I mean, they have messed up
Let
over the
everybody
last 5 years.
Yeah.
They messed up with Mookie,
Ooh, the biggest one.
and they can't mess up with Xander and with Devers. You got to get it right. And these two play hand in hand. It's not Devers' year to get paid yet, but I truly believe Devers is sitting back watching how the Red Sox are handling Xander Bogaerts, who they claim like is their guy and they want him there. Then treat him like that. I'm tired of these organizations expecting guys to take hometown discounts because they want to be there, right? Like, okay, let's say I've played 10 years of my, let's say I'm a future Hall of Famer and I'm a 6-time All-Star in 10 years and I've been playing my entire year for the Chicago Cubs and it's time for me to be a free agent and I say, I want to be a Cub for life. That's where I want to be. That doesn't mean that you can pay me less. And I'm tired of these organizations and these owners thinking, well, if you want to be here, you should take a hometown discount for us. No, if you want your guy, pay him as such. Players have a short window to get paid. And I'm tired of these organizations like shortchanging them, thinking they should take a better deal. And the Red Sox did it with Mookie Betts. And I forget exactly what the numbers were, but it was like, all right, we can only offer you $200 million. And he said no. And then these other offers come along from the Dodgers that are above and beyond. And then the Red Sox are like, okay, $300 million. It's like, what? But get your guy while you have him and he wants to be there, and show a willingness to sign him and show an appreciation when you have him in your corner, not before you've pissed him off and make him truly look elsewhere. And I just think I'm just tired of the hometown discount thing. And I think the Red Sox get it done because it's really important for both him and Devers. I mean, that's a great left side of the infield. Get it done. Xander Bogaerts, Rafi Devers, but Bogaerts stays with the Red Sox. I think they finally wake up.
But it's also like, Boston, you're a big market team. Start acting like it again. Where have you been? You haven't been acting like it.
No,
you're out of the conversation. You're losing all your top guys. So I think you're right.
Yeah.
They need to figure it out. All right. Another guy we've been talking a lot about, Carlos Correa. Where does he sign?
You had a prediction the other day on
I did.
Correa. Your prediction was that Carlos Correa goes to the Dodgers. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think Carlos goes to the Dodgers. Why not? You know, he's great.
Yep.
I think he'd be a great fit there. I do.
He's a star.
He's a star.
You need to be a star in LA.
And we mentioned it. There's so much money available with all the money coming off the books for the Dodgers. Kimbrel, Bellinger's contract. Good Lord. That's off the books. I mean, there are plenty of Trea Turner. There's big money guys that have gone off the books and they're able to spend now. I think they do it at shortstop and I think they do it at pitching.
They have to.
With their pitching. So what if I have Xander signing with the Red Sox, and we'll get to Trea Turner in a few minutes, but spoiler, it's not the Dodgers for me. What other shortstops are you looking at? They need to make a move, and I already have Dansby re-signing with the Braves.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these shortstops, besides Trey, are going to re-sign with the team that they've been playing on. And are you going to tell me that the Los Angeles Dodgers, the big bad Dodgers, with all of these star shortstops on the market and books that are able to spend right now, aren't going to get one of them?
They have to.
I don't believe that to be the case. And I think Dansby stays in Atlanta. I think Bogaerts stays with the Red Sox, and I think Trea Turner moves on, I think they have to. I think they're going to be in a position where they have to sign Carlos Correa.
If they can't keep Trey, I think they might have to. But this was the big question, and the controversial question is, will LA fans actually accept him? And I've done 2 polls on social media now asking LA fans, would you accept him eventually or no way? And it was pretty close. Like, it wasn't like crazy one side. It was 41% eventually, 59% no way. But this is also before you see him play.
I don't believe that.
This is before you see him play. The moment he starts playing well for you and starts getting some big hits, big moments, big runs, big catches, you're going to love him.
That's when it starts.
You're going to love him.
I don't know if it's the moment when.
Well, no, he'll be halfway through the season.
If Carlos Correa is an all-star next year for the Dodgers, that second half, he's going to be loved.
Just halfway through the season.
And guess where Correa shows up more than anybody? The playoffs.
Yep.
Like, come on. 59% of people saying no way to accepting Carlos Correa. Come on. The name of the game is winning baseball games.
Yep.
Right? And if you have a guy on your team that's a star and is helping you win baseball games, you're going to accept him, right? Like, I got news for you. 59% of people that said no way would I accept Carlos Correa. You've sure accepted Mookie Betts, right? What was he doing in Boston? Then he comes over. You've accepted him just fine. So come on, wake up. The guy plays great. He's an all-star. You make the playoffs and he's your shortstop. You're going to accept Carlos Correa. Come on, give me a break. That's where I think he's going.
You know that's where I think he's going. And I can't wait for the drama.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the drama. All right, let's move to some arms. Arguably the top arm on the market. You might think otherwise. Jacob deGrom. Where is he going to sign?
Yeah, I think otherwise.
Okay.
Jacob deGrom is 1A and 1B available on the market. I went back and forth here, and I'll give you the after I give you the prediction, I'll give you the team that I went back and forth with. Okay. But I think he stays with New York. Mm-hmm. So that leads to deGrom and RODÓN are my 2 predictions to be in that Mets rotation. I do think Jacob deGrom stays being a Met. I think that's where he wants to be. Yeah. He was vocal about that ever since spring training of last year when he said, I am going to opt out, but I want to be here.
Yeah.
Which is a fair thing to say. And he even said again this offseason, as long as the offers are in the ballpark, I want to be with the Mets. So I think it gets done. I think he stays with the Mets.
I think he stays in New York. Once again, I think it's
You're
Mets
unbelievable.
Or Yankees. The Yankees requested his medical information. So they're interested. They're one of the handful of teams that have kind of leaked out that they want him. And again, they have the money and they need a big name, big arm. Who was the other team you went back and forth with?
The other team I was going back and forth with was the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
Now, and the reason I have gone back and forth, even after deGrom said, if the offers are in the ballpark, I want to be a Met. I think the Rangers are a team that would get out of the ballpark and just go spend. And I don't think they're doing it the right way, right? I almost think the Rangers are doing it in a sort of Los Angeles Angels way of, okay, that worked out. Let's go pay 3 superstars and give them all the money and then just fill in around them.
Yeah.
Well,
doesn't work that way.
That's not the way it works in baseball. And I think that is what it looks, with Seager and Semien up the middle. Great, you have 2 superstars, but guess what? Your team still sucked this year. So then what do the Rangers need right now? Is it 1 ace of a staff? No. It's 4 pitchers in your rotation that are good.
Yeah.
And I just think they built this new stadium, this big stadium that's hosting an all-star game soon, right? And has already hosted a World Series, which is weird, but they did, the COVID World Series. So it's been on the map. It's this big, beautiful stadium. All the players love it. But what are you going to do on the field? Okay, let's go throw $500 million at Marcus Semien and Corey Seager. And, oh, man, Jacob deGrom's a free agent. Let's give him all the money in the world and outbid the Mets. Then what are you stuck with? You're stuck with a team of Jacob deGrom, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, and that's it. And that is not a winning recipe, and we've seen it with the Angels. The Angels are the best example. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon. What else?
There was also Albert Pujols there in the beginning.
Another bad contract.
Josh Hamilton. Let's throw this on, see if that works. They did a lot of bad decisions.
These are bad contracts. And the only one that I don't think, the only one I don't blame them on is Josh Hamilton, right? I think that was a unique situation. But with Albert, you give him all the money in the world at, he was 33 years old at the time? You gave him a 10-year contract?
Yep.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
And is he really 33 years old?
Well, that's a different conversation.
That's up for debate,
for a
too.
Different day. But T.O. Albert these days looks more like Grandpapa Albert.
Yeah, he's having a great time. He's
I wish
having
Albert was still Albert Pujols could hit until he was 80 years old.
Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
He could hit. I don't know if he's going to make it to first base.
That was already
a little tough.
He was hardly doing that this year.
Tough.
The only way he was making it to first base is if he hit it over the fence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did that just enough.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was great.
Got it done. So everything you just said about the Rangers, which is why I do not think deGrom would go there or end up there. Why are you going to go from a team that was in first place in your division almost the entire season to a struggling team that needs to build around you?
Well, the answer, if you're Jacob deGrom, is the money.
Well, do you want to win or do you want the money? And that's a whole other conversation. What's more important to you? The hardware or the money? The legacy or the money? And there's no wrong answer for an athlete. This is 100% up to the athletes. What's important to you? But you got to make that choice in these free agent
there's
decisions.
absolutely nothing wrong with that answer one way or the other. And I think we'll probably get a good answer from Judge here whenever he signs. And again, there is no wrong answer.
No.
And a conversation that I get tired of with players and from fans talking about them is, the greedy player. Well, let's step back for a second. What is the lifeline of a Major League Baseball player? How long are you playing? If you're a great, if you're in the elite of the elite, if you play a decade in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Right? So that's
10 years is not a long time.
To get paid for really the rest of your life. You're going to have to figure out another career path if you're not getting your money.
You're going to invest
when you're getting it. So
hopefully.
There is no wrong answer in a player saying, hey, I wanted to be with the Mets, and any offer around there, any offer from anybody that was around what the Mets were offering, I was going to take the Mets. But guess what? The Rangers offered me $10 million more a year to go play there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it. And guess what?
Yep.
$10 million more a year in Texas. You're netting a lot more money than you are in New York after taxes.
I didn't even think
Not
about
even
that.
close.
Didn't even think about the taxes.
That's why you're seeing Texas being a place where people want to go play.
Yeah.
Because, hey, look at Marcus Semien going from Toronto, which is brutal tax-wise, to Texas. Good Lord. Good on him. I'm fine with it. We'll see. I did not expect a Jacob deGrom and where he was going discussion to lead to how old is Albert Pujols. But here we are. And I think deGrom is
That's a deeper story for another day. All right.
I think deGrom's going to the Mets.
All right. Let's move on. Josh Bell. Where does he sign?
Josh Bell's an interesting name here because of the year he was having last year with the Nationals.
Yeah.
Went to the Padres. Wasn't great while he was there until the playoffs when he had some pretty big hits.
When stars are born.
Josh Bell is good.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Bell is a big first baseman on the market. I am saying that he goes to the Houston Astros.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't know my answers, do you?
I didn't look at all of them. I wanted to have an honest reaction.
I see your face. Yuli Gurriel is a free agent.
Yep.
I think Yuli's, I don't want to say probably gone, but if he is gone, I think Josh Bell's a great fit there. At the trade deadline last year, right? Josh Bell was a name that you heard consistently that the Astros were interested in. So now, 6 months later, roughly, I have no idea. Just pulled that out.
Okay.
Now, roughly 6 months later, you got to believe they're still interested. And
Oh, definitely.
they need a first baseman.
Yeah.
So Yuli, coming off of a year in 2021, was a very underrated batting title winner, won the American League batting title, won a Gold Glove award, just wasn't great last year. He's older. I think the average caught up to him a little bit. So I think they move on. And I think they do that with Josh Bell, who I think they'd be very much so interested in. It'd be an offensive upgrade, it'd be a defensive downgrade, but hey, I think it'd be a good fit, and they've shown interest.
I like that. I could also see him being a great bat with the Mariners as a DH in their lineup, and not an everyday first baseman, but just adding some power to a lineup that's a couple big bats away from going far into the postseason.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think they do sign a big. You remember what they did years ago with Nelson Cruz? Just like randomly going all in on that year and like throwing a bunch of money at Nelson Cruz. I don't think they signed Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz, we can have a conversation like we are with Albert Pujols. Of how old is he? But I think they do I think they do something. Josh Bell would be a good fit. JD Martinez would be a good fit. So you're right. The Mariners offense is one big bat away.
Right.
Josh Bell could be a good fit, but I'm saying Astros for him.
All right. Let's move on. Maybe one of the biggest shortstops in the big shortstops on the free agent market, Trea Turner. Where does he sign?
Trea Turner, I'm sticking with my prediction that I have been saying for probably 4 or 5 months now. Trea Turner is going to the Phillies. I felt good about it months ago. I feel even better about it now. I think I almost led the charge for Trea Turner to the Phillies, and now it feels good hearing that they're probably the front runner right now.
Yeah.
There's mutual interest. There's mutual interest here. Phillies want him. He wants to go to the Phillies. He's back on the East Coast. I mean, it feels like it's going to happen. And often when something feels like it's going to happen, it doesn't. So who knows?
Especially in your predictions.
Especially for predictions. But I'm sticking with it. Trea Turner to the Phillies. It's the perfect fit. It's exactly what they need. They need a middle infielder. It's too good to be true. But I am predicting that it does come true.
You've convinced me. If the Dodgers can't keep him, I like him in Philly. But with all the shortstops on the market, who do you think signs first? Because then it's going to be a trickle-down effect. Whoever signs first, then it's like boom, boom, boom. We kind of see where the pieces are going to fall.
I think my gut says Dansby, but if the mutual interest is as it seems, why not just get it done? So I think either Dansby or Trea Turner sign first. Really, I just want to see people signing. We're not seeing much of it yet. The market is all behind the scenes, just festering, just ready to explode.
Are you ready for the biggest one that's about to explode?
For the
biggest name, the biggest free agent on the market, the reigning AL MVP, Aaron Judge. Is he going to be a Yankee or is he not?
Well, Alex, as we have heard, the market is heating up for Aaron Judge, and there are suitors coming in.
Rumors.
And rumors
Drama.
are swirling.
Fans are freaking out.
And you know what? My prediction of where Aaron Judge goes is the New York Yankees.
I mean, they have to.
I feel like a broken record at this point. If the Yankees do not sign him, and I don't care if they get out, if they're getting massively outbid. If the Yankees don't sign him, it is a massive failure. Aaron Judge needs to be the face of the franchise forever, for the rest of his career. Make him a Yankee for life. Put a C on his chest. Give him the money. He's a free agent after his MVP year.
Crazy.
What are we doing? You are the Yankees. He is the MVP. He is your guy. re-sign him, right? Make him your guy. And I think they do it. My prediction is that Aaron Judge stays with the New York Yankees. They better sign him, put a C on his chest, make him your guy for the rest of his career, and make that. But you can't let him get away. You just can't. It would be such a massive, massive failure for a fan base that, look, for years, right? When I was growing up, the New York Yankees were the team that signed whoever they wanted. For the last decade, it hasn't been that. And this is the one.
Yeah.
Don't let him get away. Sign him, or else it'll be an epic failure.
As I'm talking about this, last night watching Monday Night Football at a Friendsgiving with a Yankees fan, just passionately going back and forth about how much they needed to sign Aaron Judge, I get a notification on my phone that Aaron Judge is in Northern California. And there's a video of him. I don't know if we have sound here, but he's being asked, are you going to be meeting with the Giants? And he claims he's just there, to see family and friends. But rumors are hot that he's meeting with the Giants this week.
This video kind of took the internet by storm last night when late night video surfaces of Aaron Judge walking in, I don't know, either like a hotel or an airport or something. He's walking in with bags, and the lady holding the phone says, Aaron Judge in San Francisco. What are you doing here?
Yep.
And he says, with a smile on his face, just meeting with some family, here to see family. And she says, any big plans? And he goes, oh, yeah, some big plans here.
Yep.
With a wink. He winked.
Yep.
And walks off. Big deal here. And then it was reported that he is meeting with the Giants today.
Yeah.
Which isn't nothing.
No, that's huge.
It's not just, people meet with people all the time in free agency. No, not like this. There's not often like face-to-face meetings unless there's general like interest.
And he also kind of sent Yankees fan base in a fluster the other day when he posted his like, thank you fans. It was an honor to have this season in pinstripes. And it's like, is this a hinting towards a farewell? Are you just keeping everybody on their toes? He knows what he's doing, and I love it.
I have a thought.
Okay.
I think this is all part of the chess match.
Good. Yankees, give him more.
Went out there. I think he's meeting with the Giants to get more money out of the Yankees.
As he should.
As he should.
As he should.
But I think I was watching that video last night just thinking this video seems too
staged.
He
was too nice about it. He answered the questions too easily.
Normally he's like,
that's what I'm saying.
Was
it planted?
It's like it was the perfect video, very well articulated from the woman behind the phone. Aaron Judge is in San Francisco. What are you doing here? Aaron Judge out here visiting family, but have some big plans. Like, what? It just feels like it was staged, and if it was, good for him.
Yeah.
I love it. Go meet with the Giants, get a video out there in the world, circulating the internet, and get more money from the New York Yankees. But was it staged or was it not?
I am here for all of the drama.
Yeah. Me too.
Give it to me.
Absolutely. One note before we move on to guess that free agent, a game that we started last week. My brother is not on this list that we just did.
And why is that?
That is for a reason. Because wherever I predict that Justin is going right now, people would just
assume
and
that you have insider information.
And that's a fair assumption, which is why I can't sit here and say Justin's going to the XYZ team because then it
becomes news.
Right. I didn't feel like it was right to give a prediction on Justin because whether I know anything or not, I just didn't feel right to disclose anything because then it would be looked into quite a bit, and it's not my position to do that.
Yeah. So, Wait till he decides.
That's why he wasn't on the list, in case anybody was wondering.
I like that. All right, let's move on to our new game. Name that free agent.
People, this is being made harder on me this week, I heard.
Yeah.
The silhouette last week.
You went 5 for 5.
The guy, no ball.
We can't let that happen.
Why?
We can't let that happen again.
So, name that free agent where anybody that's a free agent this offseason, I am getting 3 teams that they have been on, okay? So we're going to see a silhouette up on the screen, but it will not be. I think it's just a stock base photo of the player now.
Yeah.
And his last 3 teams. So on the left, 3 teams ago. In the middle, 2 teams ago, and all the way on the right will be the most recent team that this player has played on. So I will see if I can guess that free agent, and everybody watching, let's see if you can get it as well. But Alex will do a good job articulating it as well. So if you're just listening, you can see as well if you can guess that free agent, as I will try to.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
We're going to name the last 3 teams this free agent was on.
Okay.
Rangers, A's, Padres.
Okay.
Name that free agent.
So Padres being the most recent. Rangers, A's,
Padres. You're on the clock.
Rangers, A's.
I like this. Ready, stop.
Okay, so Padres, A's. I know those 2
Okay.
with this player that I'm thinking. I'm not
Well,
sure.
you got 7
about
seconds.
The Rangers. I'm gonna guess Sean Manaea.
Final answer?
I
That's
guess
wrong.
That's wrong. I don't even know if he's a free agent.
Jurickson Profar.
Okay.
Yep.
This is much more difficult.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. This is gonna be good. Hopefully I get
You
it.
ready? Ready?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Free agent number 4 was on the Twins, the Rays, and Nationals. Name that free agent, Ben.
Twins, then the Rays, then the Nationals. I'm gonna say Nelson Cruz.
Whoop, whoop. Got it.
All right.
All right. 1-1. Feeling good?
I'm feeling better now.
Feeling better?
Gotta get that momentum
Okay.
rolling, you know?
All right. Free agent number 3
Okay.
was on the Brewers, Red Sox, and Blue Jays. Name that free agent.
Brewers, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Brewers, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Okay. For some, I think this is a pitcher. I only have 10 seconds left. I don't think I'm gonna get this in time. Oh, is this shot in the dark here? Travis Shaw.
Nope. Jackie Bradley Jr.
I think Shaw went Brewers,
Really?
Red Sox, Blue Jays. But okay.
It's okay.
Jackie Bradley. That was good.
Okay.
Richmond
right.
guy, by the way, Virginia. Played travel ball together.
Oh, that's cute.
Great guy. Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Free agent number 2. Mets, Reds, Padres. Name that free agent.
Mets, Reds, Padres. Okay, so who went Reds to Padres this year? My gut. Who was in that? Brandon Drury was in that deal. Was he a Met? My final answer here is going to be Brandon Drury.
Yeah. I was like, don't smile, Curry. Don't smile. Don't smile. I tried so hard not to give it away.
All right.
Good job.
I
All
have
right,
one
let's
more,
see.
And I'm 2 for 4.
Yeah, 2 and 2.
All
2
right,
and 2.
this is the make or break one right
Is it?
here. This is where
Are you
going to
have a winning record? Keep that winning record going.
Well, either way, the winning record will be over time, you know.
I'm saying
Aggregate.
today. Okay. Ready?
Come on.
The last free agent was on the Angels, Yankees, and then the Dodgers.
Angels,
Name that free agent.
Angels to the Yankees to the Dodgers. Okay, so I think I have it.
All right, go.
This is one of the biggest moments of my entire life right here.
Build it up, babe.
Because this is where winners
Build it up.
win.
Okay, we got 7 seconds,
winners.
so get it out.
Select Andrew Heaney.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There you go.
Woo!
3 and 2, not bad.
Wow.
Not perfect like last week.
This was difficult. a lot. The silhouette last week did help. The only one it really helped me on last week was
Who?
Nate Eovaldi because he has a weird pitching windup, and you could see the
yeah.
windup in his silhouette. But the other ones, there were some that you could see. Okay, pitcher or hitter. These you couldn't. Just a very stock photo.
It was good.
And when you think 2023 offseason free agents, Andrew Heaney doesn't exactly come to mind.
He's moved around a lot.
I feel good about that one.
Yeah.
I feel good about this. So I'm going to grade myself as I do normally every week.
Yep.
Except I didn't last week.
Well, it was A+ last
A+,
week. Yeah.
plus.
5 for 5. Yeah.
I'm going to give myself an A here. I feel good about those. Don't give me that look. I don't care if I miss some. You're supposed to miss some of these.
Yeah, B+. It was good.
I won.
Wasn't excellent, but it was good.
That's
it was
why
great.
it's an A and not an A+.
B+.
Well, who's doing the grading here? Me. A. Wow, this was good. We'll see if we can. We should do this again next week.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have a show. And I'm not talking about the show. Guess that free agent. We'll have a show next week. This one has been a lot of fun. Team USA.
Yeah.
Friday,
11 a.m.
England.
Oof.
A battle for soccer or football. It's called soccer. Says Christian Pulisic.
Yeah. Football, soccer, football. Both.
They play Friday. Thanksgiving is Thursday.
Yep.
So a big week coming up. Just a big few days on Fox, by the way. We got the World Cup.
Yep.
No. Start before that. Cowboys, Giants.
Yep.
Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
All-time game right there. Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Who's going to win that?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
I know. That's
Cowboys.
Okay.
Come on. They're great. Just beat the Vikings 40-3.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. That was an impressive win.
Then Team USA England on Friday on Fox. Then Michigan, Ohio State on Fox. I mean, come on.
Like chills.
This
Like
is
it's a crazy 3 days, 4 days in a row.
We are in the midst of the greatest sports week of all time, and it kicks off Tuesday with Flippin Bats pod. I mean, come on.
Duh.
What are we doing here? This is incredible. Make sure you check all that out coming up soon on Fox. This has been a blast of an episode. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you subscribe anywhere you're listening. Subscribe to the podcast. It's free to do it. Apple, Spotify, wherever. Subscribe and follow on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can watch every single episode on YouTube as well at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. Thank you all for listening. This one has been a blast. The offseason is rolling, and these free agent names, they're going to start rolling soon. I have no doubt about it. But until next time, we will see you for another episode of Flippin' Bats. Peace.